Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of House of Maharrani. Here I talk about life and everything in between. Today I am baking a red velvet cookie walnut brownie, and the topic that I'm going to talk about today is about this saying that I heard, which is life is what you make of it. So how do we make this life? Let's get started. Life is what you make of it, and this concept is honestly very straightforward, but of course, it's not as easy said than done. There are few things which I personally, figured out which worked for me in regards to understanding this concept and implementing it in my life. So before we explain, what this means, let's talk about why is this statement or this saying so important in your life? Okay, let's take baking as an example, right? The recipe that I am working on today is mixing cookie and brownie together. Now, people might say, okay, what the hell are you doing? But because I saw the recipe and I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting, I want to, bake it myself, I decided to go for it. And while I am learning how to do this, I am personally making a choice to work on this recipe, bake this recipe so that I can eat it later on, which is, how I feel like life should be all about as well. I feel like a lot of us are, going around and trying to live life based on what other people tell us to do. And I think at some point in time, if you are really wanting to make a life which is better for you, you have to start making choices for yourself. Once you have answered the question of what you want in life and why you want it, you need to also start figuring out how can you go about making these things happen for you. And honestly, this one, each to their own. I feel like, personally speaking, I decided that I wanted to change my life around in regards to having a more positive outlook. And I started off with, changing my mindset by just becoming more optimistic towards life, because what that allowed me to do was it allowed me to focus on myself. And when I started focusing on myself, I started realizing, the choices that I was making for myself and why I was not happy and why I was, not doing so well in regards to what I wanted from life. So I decided to make that change, and again, the change that you will make for yourself has to be a choice that you make for yourself. Personally, for me, I felt like I started just focusing on myself more. When I started focusing on myself, I started realizing, all of the things that I value and I want in my life. The choices that I was making for myself, the choices that I'm still making for myself are based on, what I want for myself, and not based on what other people might want from me. Okay, while this baked good is all over my clothes, it smells so heavenly. Here goes the huge red velvet cookie, and it goes on the top. Just FYI, I actually did not follow the recipe because, again, life is what you make of it. What do you make of it? So I am going to bake what I want to bake. I just took inspiration from that recipe. So fingers crossed that whatever I am baking turns out good. Not only today but in my life as well. So that is, I feel like, today's conversation about life and what you make of it. So go on, bake and make your life however you choose to. Just make sure that when you're doing so that you are kind to yourself, you're appreciating of yourself, you are loving yourself, and also the people around you and the planet. Please, I think that is something that I'm going to constantly talk about, which is that we need to start taking care of our planet and really start becoming conscious of the climate issues. Well, that's it. We'll see how it turns out. So next up, guess what? I forgot to preheat my oven, so I'm here waiting for the oven to get heated. While I'm doing that, I'm going to quickly touch upon something, okay? And I feel like this analogy is going to go perfect with the topic that we are talking today. This actually basically, you know, comes down to based on the opportunities that you have in your life, based on, you know, the possibilities that you can think of and believe in your life for yourself. You can make anything that you want, and at the end of the day, you have to stick to what you made and what you baked. So I'm going to see how this is going to turn out. I'm quite excited because, again, you know, it's like I took the inspiration, but here's my own twist. So it's ready to go in the oven. Bake. Oh, the great baking show. Okay, bakers, bake. Oh my god, it's so good! Okay everyone, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, like it, share it, subscribe, and also in the comments below, do let me know if there's anything that you want me to talk about, and I will be happy to do so. Until next time, take care and bake!